Hi everybody, the skill we're working on today is adding decimals. So we have two numbers here that we need to add, 536 plus 17 and 4/10. So the first thing we need to do is line up our problem. We can't add the two numbers when they're like this. So first we're going to write our biggest number, 536. Next, you'll notice that our next number, 17 and 4/10, has a decimal, but 536 doesn't. So what do we need to do to 536? If there's not a decimal on a number, you need to add a decimal at the very end behind the ones place. Anytime you're doing the place value, it's ones, tens, hundreds. So you put the decimal at the very end of the number, behind the ones place. So now we're going to add our 17 and 4/10. What we need to remember is that we have to line our decimals up. So the very first thing I'm going to do is write this decimal underneath the other one. Now I need to transfer this number from here to here. What I need to do is write it in the exact same order as what I have on the original number. So I see there's a decimal here and there's a 4 behind it. So over here I'm going to have a decimal and then I'm going to put a 4 behind it. Next I'm going to look at the number again. I have my decimal and a 7 in front of it. So I'm going to do decimal and put a 7 in front of it. Now I'm going to look at the number and I have 7 and then a 1. So here's my 7 and I'm going to put a 1. So when I look at the number, I have it exactly how it was written. 7, 1, 7, decimal 4, 1, 7, decimal 4. And my decimals are lined up right here. That's the most important step. Now I can add these numbers. Wait, I have something missing. I have two decimals here, but there's a big empty place right here. Anytime you have a number that doesn't have a decimal, remember we add it to the end, you can put a 0 here as a placeholder. So since there's nothing there, I'm going to put a 0 as a placeholder. The only number allowed is a 0. I can't put a 1 or a 2, only a 0 if there's nothing there. So now I can add these two numbers. I'm going to do 0 plus 4. Now, the next important step is to move your decimal down. Don't do anything else until you put your decimal. So I'm going to take my decimal from here and line it up. It's in line with the rest. Now I can continue my problem. 6 plus 7. 6 plus 7 is 13. I'm going to put my 3 and carry my 1 to the tens place. Now I have 3 plus 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4, but I have one more that I carried. 4 plus 1 is 5. Next I have a 5 and nothing to add, so I bring my 5 straight down. There you go. My answer is 553 and 4/10. That's how you add decimals.